What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the vlog. If you're new here, I'm Kayla and welcome all to today's video. Today's video is gonna be a weekly meal prep vlog. So I'm gonna be walking you through how I meal prep to set myself up for the week. Meal prepping is preparing your meals ahead of time so that way you don't really have to cook throughout the week and you can just pick it out of the fridge, put it in the microwave and go. And truly, I've said it on my channel before, like meal prepping has really been a game changer for me. Truly, like taking those 2-3 hours out of my week, whether I spread it out and do 2 cooking sessions or I do 1 big cooking session like today, those 2-3 hours like really are so worth it. So today I am making 4 different meals and I just went to Trader Joe's and this is like my weekly grocery haul for the most part. There is some stuff that I already have. So what I like to do before I grocery shop, I make a list. So I write it down. So today I'm making overnight oats, chicken bowls, a tuna bowl, and a protein pasta. The oats and pasta I've not made before, so we are going to see how it goes today. So I'll write down everything and then as I go into the store, I'll check off exactly what I got. So like, let's do a quick little haul. I got some low-fat milk, got some strawberries, some baking soda to wash my fruit, 96 for ground beef. I always find 93.7, but 96.4 is like the best ground beef. Like if you know, you know, that's just awesome. And then my other protein of the week is gonna be these grilled chicken breast. I've mentioned these on my channel before. I get these from Trader Joe's. They're ready to eat and they're so good and just very simple ingredients, awesome macros, like you really can't go wrong. And honestly, I don't like cooking chicken. So if I can get some already made chicken that doesn't have all those additives and preservatives in it, I'm with it. Then I got some sweet potatoes, a big sweet potato, look at that. Rigatoni pasta. The rigatoni is just that girl. Some asparagus spears, green onion. I have 2 yogurts because I go through yogurt so fast. These are non-fat yogurt. Got some egg whites, Parmesan cheese, tomato sauce, low-fat cottage cheese, 4 cans of solid white albacore tuna, and 1 white onion. So if you wanna learn some new high-protein meals or you need some food inspiration, keep on watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into the rest of the video. All right, vlog, I got a coffee. I'm ready to go. We're gonna start with the first meal that takes like 5 seconds to make to one that takes a little bit longer. So somewhat easy to less easy, but they're all very basic, easy meals. So first up, we have overnight oats. This is gonna be my first time trying overnight oats. And so I can't try it till tomorrow, but maybe I'll insert a little clip here of what it tastes like, of my reaction to tasting it. Shout out me. So that was my reaction. I hope it was wonderful because I just made it and I have to eat it because we don't waste protein around here. So what you're gonna need is oats, obviously. These are old-fashioned oats. I prefer these. And then you're gonna wanna get your protein of choice. So this is the Ghost, Chips Ahoy, whatever protein that you want, you put it in. And then we have a little bit of the non-fat Greek yogurt and some honey. And then you're gonna have your toppings of choice. Mine are gonna be dark chocolate chips and then some strawberries. And then I have measuring cups here. So we have 1 cup and 1/3 cup. And then I got these 2 little jars from Home Goods. I enjoy eating breakfast every day. I'm not someone that's gonna skip breakfast ever and just like have 2 cups of coffee and wait till lunch. Like that's not me. I love breakfast, but sometimes I just don't wanna cook right when I wake up in the morning. And sometimes I do wanna have like something that's pre-made. So we're gonna see how these overnight oats turn out. Hopefully my reaction to eating them was lovely. So let's get into making them. So it's gonna be a 1-to-1 ratio for the oats and the milk. Oh my gosh, I forgot to put, you also need milk. It's probably one of the most important ingredients for the overnight oats, might be. I'm gonna be using this oat malt, and then if there's not enough, I'm just gonna use the low-fat milk too. So don't forget the milk. Okay, cool. Lovely. For protein powder, just 1 good rounded scoop. 1/3 cup Greek yogurt. And then mix it all up. And then also gonna add some of the honey as well. Just like a little tiny squirt. And you really have to mix so that the protein powder is mixed up in there, or else it's gonna be chalky, I feel like. And then for toppings, we have my strawberry. And then I'm gonna put like just a tiny little bit of these chocolate chips. All right, vlog, so these are my overnight oats. So I put the ingredients in my macro tracker minus the strawberries and chocolate chips, which I barely put that much in there. These are about 40 plus grams of protein. I think next time what I'll do is I'll put only half a cup of oats. That's what I normally eat. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'll do like 50 grams oats, sometimes 60 if I'm like crazy, but I've never put like a full-on cup before. So next time I'll probably just do half a cup, so that'll kind of lower like the calories of these, but they took 3 minutes. Hello. So that is my simple, easy breakfast idea. Some overnight oats and nothing groundbreaking. You can also have them as a snack or what have you, but that is the first recipe. Let's move on to the next. All right, next meal is going to be a tuna salad bowl. Very simple, and it takes, again, like 5 minutes. Then there's a lot of things you can add into it, but for me, the ingredients that I use are tuna. This is no salt added. And then I have yogurt again, garlic powder, salt and pepper, and then some green onion. Other people like to add boiled eggs, tomatoes, celery. There's a lot of things you can add, but these are ingredients that I put in mine, and it tastes lovely. So first thing I'm gonna do is just cut up my green onion really quick. It smells so good. I think I'll just do one for each, so I have 3 little pieces. BRB. Okay, green onion is diced up, and that's pretty much all the prep you need for this meal is just cutting up your vegetables. So let's just put everything in a bowl and mix it all up. And I just mush it down a little bit so it's just smaller chunks. For the yogurt, I kind of just measure with my heart on this one. I would start off with adding a little bit and then just work up to the consistency that you want. I'm gonna put the seasoning. This can get real salty real fast, so I do recommend also just being light-handed with the salt, and then you just mix it all up. All right, vlog, so this is meal number 2. This is a high protein tuna salad. It's not maybe the most aesthetic meal, but she gets the job done. So I put it into my macro calculator, and it's about 32, 35 grams of protein. Again, I didn't weigh out the yogurt, so I feel like it's anywhere between like 40 to 60, 70 grams of yogurt. Yeah, it's about 30-ish plus. And normally I will eat it with some sourdough bread, like really toasted and crispy. And also this adds about another 4 grams of protein as well. So like this meal is pretty much 40 grams. And it tastes so good, and it's very low fat, very low cal, but high in protein, and that's what we love, you know. That's what we love. You can put them in the tiniest little containers. Like, she's small, but mighty. So that's my second meal. Let's move on to number 3. Okay, vlog, so the next meal on the list is going to be a chicken bowl. We're gonna pick a vegetable of choice. Today's is asparagus, and then you're gonna get your chicken. I got these pre-packaged, sliced and ready to go. So all we have to do for these ones is just put them in the microwave. What really takes some time is the sweet potatoes, just cutting them up and seasoning them. So I already put the oven to 450, and then I'm going to cut these up and spray them with some cooking spray. And then I have garlic and parsley, pepper, and some salt. These are massive sweet potatoes, my word. Hello? And so this is a very simple, quick, easy meal. It could be 5 minutes. If the sweet potatoes didn't take that long, you could get prepackaged sweet potatoes, I'm sure. But I just rather make them myself. So we're gonna cut them up, put them in the oven at 450 for like 30-ish minutes. But I want them like a little bit burnt. So that's why I put them in there for a while. And then we will plate this very, very simple meal prep. All right, vlog, so the sweet potatoes just came out of the oven, and now I'm just gonna plate everything. So I have my grilled chicken breasts and a scale, so I just portion out everything for 1 serving, which is about 3 ounces or 84 grams, and there's about 4 servings per container. Oh, 4 servings per container. So I'll probably end up using like 1.5 of these. I might just do 100 grams chicken. I put my units to grams, zero it out, and then I take however much, and now it says minus 82 grams, so I just put 82 grams in here. So I'm just gonna put 100 grams per container. I'm gonna make a 6 bowl. Whatever's left over, I'm just gonna sparse throughout. Okay, so it's about 110, 115-ish grams in each. So that's 6 meals, 2 full containers. For my asparagus, I'm just gonna put the serving size. It's looking like there's not gonna be enough. I only got 1 packet, so I'm just gonna do like 70 each, 70-ish. But it's always a good idea to have some type of vegetable fiber in all of your meals. We do place a big emphasis on protein, us gym rats, the fitness community. You need some fiber and you need some things besides chocolate chip protein powder. I noticed, like, if you watch one of my old full day of eatings, like I was not really eating veggies, I was not really eating greens. I was just focused on protein. And now I feel like my nutrition is more well-rounded out. It's still a high protein diet, but I'm eating more fiber and carbs and fats and not solely focused on protein. I feel like this is good for me. So, and then I'm just gonna put 80, 100 grams of sweet potato in here. All right, vlog, so this is my 3rd meal. This is about 30-ish grams of protein. And even if you don't want to put sweet potatoes, then you can just get some asparagus, pre-made chicken. Like, it is the laziest person's type of meal prep. And it's so good, and I have 6 meals here. So this is about 30-ish plus grams of protein. It is on the lower calorie side, but that is meal number 3. Let's move on to meal number 4. Last but not least, we are making beef pasta. I love pasta, right? But when you go to a store and get it, or a restaurant, the sauce is probably like 1,000 calories on its own, but I really just want to start eating it more often. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna make it so I know exactly what's going in it. And then I just wanna like branch out and make new things, starting with overnight oats and now with this beef pasta. So it's actually pretty simple. So I have some 96.4 ground beef here. This is 2 packets of this. I don't think I'm gonna put all of it in the pasta. I have the pasta cooking over there. Again, this is the rigatoni. To make my sauce, we are going to be using tomato sauce, low-fat cottage cheese, minced garlic, and an onion, and then a little bit of Parmesan cheese to go a little bit in the sauce, but more so on top. I feel like this takes longest because you do have to cook beef and then wait for the pasta to boil and cook the sauce, so that's why I saved it for the end. But it is still like a pretty simple dish. I make this ground beef all the time, so I didn't really show it. I just ground it up, put some garlic and salt in it, and call it a day. Let's make the sauce. I'm just gonna dice up my onion and then put everything into a saucepan pretty much. All right, so after about 5 minutes, when it's like pretty soft, I'm gonna add this minced garlic. Don't judge me for already having pre-minced garlic, okay? You should probably just mince it yourself so it's more fresh, but you do you, I'll do me. So that's gonna cook 2-ish minutes, and then we'll add the tomato sauce. I'm just gonna add a little bit, and then as I go, add more. We'll just see how much it is. And then we're gonna add our cottage cheese to make it like more of a Roma sauce, so it's a little bit more creamier. This is kind of in place for the heavy cream, which is what a lot of the calories in pasta can come from. I should have blended this up, and I just now realized it. Hopefully it kind of dissipates on its own down there. After a quick Google search, blend your cottage cheese before you put it in there, or get whipped cottage cheese. We're gonna put just a hint of Parmesan in there, and then a little bit of salt and pepper, and we're good to go. Can you tell this is my first time making this? So now it's time to add the beef. This is like the one meal that I guess I'm not gonna really pay attention too much to the exact macros. Oh, wait, I think I should have put the pasta first, right? Because the pasta is the thing that's supposed to be soaking up the sauce. I am all over the place. Yeah, I'm all over the place. Let's try that again. Again, can you tell this is my first time making this meal? All right, let's just put it all in, because whatever. So now you know. I'm sure everyone else knew. I think it's just me today that doesn't know certain things. Okay. I put 3 containers. It might be 4, but we shall see. We are learning together. Gonna do a 4th bowl. All right, vlog, so this is my 4th and final meal. As you saw, I had some struggles making it. And the only thing about this one is I don't really know the exact macros or calories. I tried to evenly distribute the beef between each one. There's like a lot left in here. I might just put a little bit more beef and then maybe do 2 more containers. Let's do a quick little taste test, even though I've been tasting it. Cheers. It's good. I'll let the chef know though that it could use a little bit of salt, girl. But yeah, this is my fourth and final meal. All right, vlog, so that is my high protein weekly meal prep. So this is going to last me all week. And even though it did take me a while, it's so worth it. And if you could take anything from this video, just remember that preparation is key for anything. And that comes down to even the smallest things like what you're gonna eat. So that is my 4 meals for the week. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Hopefully you got some meal inspiration from this. Hopefully you got maybe a new recipe even. I was not always this big of a meal prepper. I was not always someone that knew what to do about food, and I'm still not that type of person, but this is a journey and we're doing it all together. And I'm so glad that meal prepping fully is a part of my journey now. So that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you're gonna try any of these meals down below, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.